Hey, RetconRaider here, and welcome back to Pathfinder, the Lord of Nothing. As today we start taking care of this pain in the Nexus. As you can see, we've wrapped up our business back at the Defender's Heart. We're rested, refreshed, and ready to go. There was one more NPC waiting for us outside, but it was basically just a stand-in for Joran Vane, who has gone missing since the siege on Canabras. Poor guy, I hope he's okay. But regardless, it turns out even after selling all of our vendor trash, we could afford precious little. So, for the most part, I just stuck with very basic upgrades. Items I think I'd already earmarked last episode. For example, we picked up Abrupt Force for Kanos. I figured the stun chance was well worth the price. As well as some +1 armor we got from the Fall Guys. And the Gloves of the Neophyte. Which, I mean, were super cheap, so why not? I will note, it does feel like they're being a lot more generous with vendor trash this time out than they were back in Through the Ashes. I guess the theme of the adventure has changed. We're back into more conventional adventuring. So hopefully we can afford some other nice upgrades as we collect these shards. Speaking of which... Salmer, how exactly do we go about collecting these shards? I don't think you ever specified. And it looks like you still don't specify. That is somewhat awkward. I mean, unless I missed something, the only instructions they gave us were to go rest in the tavern, which is now done, so... Aha. You there, behind the wall. Come out. Ugh, what a stench! The ice had melted and left behind a pile of refuse, reeking of decay. I swear by a dozen silk handkerchiefs, there's something rotten here. Not something, but someone. Unflinchingly, Record picks up a rotting rag with his dagger. The stench of rotting meat wafts from underneath. It seems we're not the first mortals to wind up in this hole. Well, I mean, where do you think all those undead came from? They're not a naturally occurring phenomena.
A very reasonable supposition. Dying is a favorite pastime of mortals. One I've heard demons, celestials, and even gods have lately taken up. But if you see a pile of corpses in front of you, then with a high degree of probability, they were mortals. The clue, as you mortals say, is in the name.
One of the bodies lying on the ground opens its eyes and rises to its feet. The stranger's voice is calm and melodious. She does not look undead. And who in the nine hells are you? Record drops instantly into a fighting stance, pointing his daggers at the stranger, who gazes at it calmly, seemingly completely unperturbed. No games. Only partially voiced this time. The woman standing in front of you more closely resembles a doll than a person. Elaborate tattoos cover her pale, unnaturally smooth skin. She watches you with curiosity that mirrors your own, and catching your eye, she smiles. Your inference here, then, would be that you are not mortal.
I am a special case. I am a research android in service to the Technic League. One moment. I must double-check my data. Correction. I am an unemployed research android looking for a new team. Call me Penta.
She pokes at the pile of carrion at her feet with the point of her shoe. Penta? As in pentagram?
No, as in pentatonic. My core specialty is music. The Technic League found this field of study unproductive and decided to retrain me for field research in extreme conditions, unquestioning obedience, and politeness. I have mastered one of these.
Penta rolls her eyes disdainfully. How long have you been stuck here?
It's hard to say. It seems that my internal systems reacted to the sudden change in temperature and plunged me into a kind of suspended animation. What year is it? About 80 years, according to this. I'm glad that I did not remain conscious that whole time.
From her pocket, Penta takes a small medallion with glowing symbols and studies it attentively. Oh dear. 80 years trapped in the ice, fully conscious. It's a recipe for insanity.
A likely hypothesis. Let's not verify it.
I can't help but notice you don't seem terribly concerned about what happened to your masters.
A maxim both tried and true. Dislike for the Technic League tends to be directly proportional to knowledge of its activities. I know the Technic League very well.
And you say you're looking for a new team?
My current objective is to explore this region of the Abyss. On my own, the likelihood of success is 0.001%. With a group, the probability could be 10 times as high.
Oh, so 0.0001%. Getting some real Nenio vibes here. So, what, you want to serve us instead of the Technic League?
Absolutely not. I do not wish to serve anyone. I am offering mutually beneficial cooperation. Friendship is an option. Warning, romantic relations are absolutely not.
Oh gosh, darn, I can't hook up with the GLaDOS love doll. What'll I do? Alright, I'm over it. As if we didn't have enough to deal with already. Snorting, Record squints at Sendry, who seems disappointed by Penta's last clarification. Yeah, he's basically standing in for like 60% of the player base on that, I'm sure. Record, Sendry, thoughts? Of course, what else is there to say? We could certainly use a professional Abyss scholar, since that's exactly where we're headed. I swear it on my fox fur coat. She seems capable. And besides, Record smiles wryly. She spent decades trapped in the ice. And not only did she survive, she's itching to continue her research. That combination of resilience and insanity is what our squad's all about. If Record and I have found our once-in-a-century point of agreement, then the matter is definitely settled. Welcome to the team, Penta.
So it's decided. We will continue this expedition together. And now I suggest we suspend our discussion temporarily. I am in need of a degree of cosmetic maintenance. Let us resume communicating when I look and smell somewhat better than my previous team. Simply put, let a girl change her clothes.
Oh, I don't even get a choice. Oh, so I have to drop one of my customs? Come on. I don't want to choose. But it looks like I have to, because she is locked to the squad. Wow, so we literally have no choice here. Aside from which of our customs to drop, which is rough because we don't know what she is yet. Though, if she was with the Technic League, it's probably safe to assume some sort of arcane caster. Alright, I'll tell you what. I don't want to drop any of the raiders permanently, so, let's do this. we have 4 shards to collect. That implies at least 3 mini-adventures before we have our frosty finale. So we'll just rotate. We'll assume that during each of these adventures, one of the raiders is hanging back, guarding the other side of the portal, and tending to their mortal affairs. We'll have Aiden go first, since he seems eager to volunteer. And then next time around, it'll either be Sir Brown or Kanos and Gaia. Yeah, and then for the final adventure, we'll take whichever party combo has the best synergy. Sounds like a plan. Alright, so let's get a gander at our artificial interloper. Oh my, that is a lot of crossbow for one living doll. Not much else to go on here. No gear. Ah, and she is an android. Interesting. I knew they were kicking around, didn't think we'd ever actually get our hands on one. Numerian Companion. Oh, she's an int-based bard. Interesting. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. That explains her stat spread and her general lack of gear. That means she fills a range support role. We could certainly use that. I sincerely doubt she'll dole out the same sort of damage Aiden is capable of, but I assume she'll make up for it with better buff support. Pretty solid skill coverage. Again, not as good as Aiden, but Actually, wow, this works out almost perfectly for the rotating party plan. Because each of these 3 main skills is covered by one of our hirelings, who individually do it better than Penta does, but this way we would still have a backup character to cover those skills in their absence. You know, Arcana for Aiden, Nature for Kanos, and Religion for Sir Brown. Wow, yeah, that works out perfectly. How about arcane support? What kind of options do we have there? Okay. So a nice mix of healing, buffing, and crowd control. Which is interesting because it kind of overlaps with all 3 of our raiders. Healing and buffing from Sir Brown, crowd control from Kanos, and then just general range support with a crossbow from Aiden. Okay, yeah, this is, I can work with this. Oof, but I cannot work with this. One sec, whilst I get this in order. And we're back. Had some lunch, familiarized myself with Penta's abilities, and I think we're ready to go. Honestly, aside from the whole Numerian android thing, she's pretty straightforward. Though she is a Thundercaller, which I can't say I'm super familiar with. But, you know, Bard's a Bard, so I'm sure we'll be fine. Let's see what else we've got here. Ah, basic Pentagear. Yeah, I should have checked the body before I hit the pause button. This stuff is clearly intended for her. Though, much as with Record, if we ever find Penta pinned down in close combat, then something has clearly gone wrong. As for the rest of this stuff, again, pretty much like 80% a standard Bard. She just has the ability to induce rage or Sonic Blast on top of that. Neither of which I'm super keen on. I mean, the Sonic Blast is indiscriminate, so I don't see a lot of situations we'll be able to use it in. But hey, I'm always open to tips, so anyone who's more familiar with this archetype, feel free to chime in the comments down below. But for now, we push on. Let's go gather shard number 1. That's got to be our portal circle. Whoever assembled all these unstable pillars clearly had a lot of free time on their hands. Gotta say, Penta, you're not off to a great start here. Okay, so is that not our portal? Right, yeah, we need more shards. I am at a bit of a loss here. Clearly, we're supposed to go through a portal. Oh, there we go. Not where I would have expected it, but fair enough, I guess. Off to the Verdant Caves. Verdant Caves. Why does that sound familiar? Okay, well, it doesn't immediately look familiar. Not like the Defender's Heart. Verdant Caves. Maybe I'm just conflating it with one of the numerous other games I've played on this channel. Maybe Lost Valley? Who are you? The clouds are gathering. That's the signal. The giants are coming. Wanderers, hide! Oh, my. Okay, so that happened. Curses! We'll talk later. To battle! I'm glad we just stood here and watched all that play out. Hey, and look at that. Not immune to cold damage. Though, that said, I do still kind of wish I'd led with those ice claws on Grim. Alright guys, come on. Hey, there we go. Actually, does Penta have precise shot? Yes, there it is. But you know what? Let's lead with Bardic Performance. I think we've got this. I did notice she does not seem to have Lingering Performance. We'll have to snag that when she hits level 7. And we're good. The dark-haired young Kellet is breathing heavily, not looking at you. He can't take his eyes off the scene of the brutal massacre. They're all dead. Accursed giants. We'll be back. We'll have our revenge. Excuse me, Allie. Yes, I love you too. Hold on. You're not planning to fight those giants alone, are you? If you're counting on our help, we need to know a little more. Just a little. We shouldn't go chasing after death after just escaping it. Let those wretches move a little further away while we talk. The man nods slowly, recovering little by little. Tell me, who are you, friend? I am Arden, the chief. The man winces as if in pain. No, that's not right. My father was chief, and I just try to take care of what's left of the tribe as best I can. My father had 2 sons and did not manage to name either of us his successor before his death. My data suggests Kellid tribes prefer open spaces. What could have forced them to crawl into these caves? The giants caught us and drove us here like livestock. And you were trying to escape? Yes, we're prisoners of the giants, my tribe and I. Today I tried to take the fight to our oppressors, but we were not strong enough. Of course you weren't strong enough. You had no chance against them. That's obvious. Did you even have a plan? Anything other than rushing into battle and hoping for the best? Or is this some sort of ritual suicide? Don't judge them. Is life in captivity life at all? Running into a giant's mouth and dying isn't much of a life either. Am I saying you shouldn't resist? Of course you should. But you have to be smart about it. Quiet and careful. You sound just like my brother. The man shakes his head in disapproval. I dread to ask, but what use do the giants have for you? A bit of labor here and there, but every prisoner ends up in the cauldron sooner or later. The man's face twists in disgust. In the cauldron? You mean... Yes, that's right. The culinary habits of giants are well documented. Unfortunately. So, what'll you do next? I will make my way back to my people. We will find a way to free ourselves, no matter what. Come with me. If I bring help, it will help unite the tribe. Something tells me one of the giants has the shard. Knowing our luck, it's the biggest and nastiest one. It seems we'll have to face them no matter what. Yeah, that seems like a pretty safe bet. Though, I could also see them giving it to a member of the tribe. Someone who represents the tribe's only chance at defending itself against the predations of the giants. But I suppose the mandatory recovery of the shards doesn't really leave much room for moral quandaries here. How many giants are there? Just over a dozen, but each is worth 20 of my warriors. Oh, well, I mean, we could just go in there and kill them. 12 giants wouldn't stand much a chance against our party. And you say your tribe won't fight back? Every Kellid is a brave warrior, but these daily horrors have broken the spirits of many of us. My brothers, for instance. My brother believes we should hide and wait for an opportune moment without taking unnecessary risks. But he'll still be waiting after we're all dead. Well, have no fear. We'll take care of it. Not that we have much choice. Does seem to be a bit of a recurring trend here. Excellent. With allies like you, we'll surely win. Now listen, here's the plan. We'll slip right under the giants' noses into the part of the cave where my people are being kept, introduce you to the tribe, and come up with a plan. Wait. So the plan is to go make a plan? The plan is to come up with a plan? How I love planning plans! Gosh darn it, Sendry, get out of my head. Not as much as you love pointless chatter. Let's hurry. Those giants are far enough away. Okie dokie. So the stage is set. Apparently we're up against hill giants. That's a nice, solid, mid-level challenge. I was never much a fan of giants back when I ran tabletop, but But I do recall hill giants were kind of the grunts of the giant ecology. They were like CR6, 7, right in that range. Really straightforward, brutish foes. Essentially just one step up from your average ogre. Oh, Potion of Invisibility. That might come in handy. Alright, where to next? Careful. There's a giant patrol ahead. Okay, I mean, we could just kill this guy. The way is clear. We can... Ah, I see. The giants definitely heard that. Hide! Right. And welcome to the mandatory stealth portion of our adventure. Oh, could I take a giant? I don't know. I mean, I have 27 AC, 3 to 4 attacks per round. Trip attempts on every flurry. We could try jumping back over the rocks, but odds aren't in our favor there. If we get hurt, I'd rather it be fighting than trying... Oh, shit. Alright, screw it. Let's rock. I punch your knee! Ah! I may have made a slight miscalculation. Targeting forward on a giant is kind of silly, but we've got to at least try. Yes. Oh, those ice claws would be so great right now. Whew. Okay. You know what? I think we're good. We'll top off and we'll push on. No need to risk crippling ourselves trying to clamber back over these rocks. Not when they clearly have a detour laid out in front of us. And I will say, taking down that first giant solo did wonders for my confidence. So I'm not too worried about getting caught again. Just need to be careful about panicking. I made a misclick or two there, wasted a flurry. Hey, keep your eyes open. There's giants ahead. We'll cover you. Oh. And I guess we're locked in. Honestly, I'm okay with that. That first one went down easy enough that if we get additional cover fire, I'm almost tempted to just punch my way through instead of sneaking around like they so clearly want us to. Though, that's probably a bad idea. Oof. No. No, thank you. We'll just go this way. Another hill giant bruiser. Tiered steps, upper area. Oh, that, you know what? I'll bet that's the path we would have taken if we had, oh, hey, Record. What's up, bud? Yeah, that's clearly the path we would have taken if we had gone back over the rocks. But now we sneak. We are the stealthiest of stones. Though the temptation to murder all these giants is real. Hi. Okay, I see. Interesting. Well, he's on the other side, so that gives us a moment to poke around. Oh, never mind. I guess we should probably go? I don't... Man, I've been spoiled by the perception markers in BG3. I have no idea what areas these guys are actually monitoring. So it's all just pure guesswork as to where I can and can't safely walk. Though, fortunately, they... Oh, shit. Hi. I'm just gonna go over here. Everything's fine. Ooh. Oh, I bet we're missing all kinds of loot, too. I really do want to go back and fight those guys, but no. I should stay the course. We have no idea what else is lying in wait ahead of us. Looks like we broke away. Let's take a breather and... Go! I see you've returned alive, Arden. The voice of the young Kelid marching towards you is devoid of happiness. What happened to those who went with you? Those who believed in your plan? Where are they? Tell me, brother. They are dead, Tokum. Arden looks defiantly into his brother's eyes. But at least we tried. How dare you accuse me when your best plan was to sit quietly and wait for them to devour us one by one? Tokum carefully looks you over. And who's this? And... Stop! Someone else is coming. Introductions will have to wait. The giants are coming. Try not to draw any attention to yourselves. Yeah, I hate to break it to you, Arden, but I am a half-ton of rock. I understand. I think a small disguise won't hurt us. Penta chants a spell. Oh, well, that's a handy skill you could have brought up earlier. Also, I notice I am clearly still a rock. The Kelid standing beside the giant chieftain does not look as exhausted as his tribesmen. He is clearly better fed and not burdened with hard labor. The giant lets out a series of unintelligible growling screams, which the Kelid translates. Today, several prisoners tried to escape. Every fugitive was caught and killed. Our hosts have not taken anyone for dinner in recent days, but catching fugitives is hard work. The giant nods to the translator, who approaches the Kelid crowd. The translator thoughtfully examines the tribespeople. Each prisoner grows visibly nervous when his gaze lingers on them. The translator's gaze stops on your party. He spends a long time examining you before turning to your companions. And finally, abruptly points at a Kelid standing next to Sendry. Unfortunate. So we're just gonna stand here and watch this? That's cool. Sentry moves to help the unfortunate Kelid, but Record stomps on his foot and hisses, "Don't move. Freeze. You'll kill us all." I don't know, man. I think we could take him. The giants begin to disperse, and the translator approaches you once again. "Hey, you." With a furtive look around, the translator whispers, "We should talk. I live over there. Come in. Just be quiet." This is how they consume us. One by one. You're right about one thing. We can no longer wait. We need a plan. Tokum looks at you again. I don't know who you are or how you got in here, but you seem like experienced warriors. Come with us. We'll discuss how to get out of here. You dastard! You're handing over your own people like cattle! Says Reyna. So clearly someone else to talk to. Ah, and now we do have the option to actually attack the giants. But we shall refrain for now. Rays of light break through the cave's vaults, creating an unnatural picture. Lush greenery underground. Oh, this is such a confusing map. I feel like I'm missing stuff left and right. I am tempted to go run the approach path again, just to check for extra stashes. And to maybe kill those other two guards, because I am actually pretty sure we could have taken them. Especially with Record on range support. But for now, we'll poke around here, get our bearings. And there's Reyna. It's not ready yet. Stop crowding around the cauldron. Will we all die here? There has to be a way out. So where did the brothers get off to? Oh, hey. Ah, there you are. So there is a brain in that head of yours after all. I know everyone in the tribe by sight. Your faces may have been modified by magic, but they still don't belong to any of us. Do all traders have such a good memory for faces? Or just you? Oh, spare me. When death's at hand, it's every man for himself. The translator spits on the ground and angrily smears it with his foot. The giants chose me for the cauldron on the very first day. If I hadn't said something in their language, my flesh would have been cut from my bones long ago. Yeah, I mean, I get that. Just trying to survive. What's your name, friend? Once I was rather well respected in this tribe. And now, they no longer call me by my name. My kin call me scum and carrion, while I am nobody to the giants. If they need something, they don't even bother speaking. They just point at me. Well, I assume there's a reason to why you called us here. Can you at least share that? Not to sit and chat about the weather. I know your secret. You could say I hold your fate in my hands. Be smart. If you want me to keep quiet, let's make a deal. You help me, I help you. You know how it goes. I'm sorry, friend. Was that meant to be a threat? What do you think? I think you're very lucky you're dealing with Grimm and not with Vex, because otherwise you'd already be cat food. What are you proposing? I heard that the brothers are starting a rebellion. One wants to escape, the other wants to fight the giants, and both outcomes are certain death for me. If the tribe wins, they will cut me down like a dog. If the giants win, they will massacre all the prisoners, and I will no longer be needed. My only chance to escape is to set the giants loose on the tribe early, and get away while the giants are busy massacring the rebels. No one from the tribe will survive, while I will join with other Khelids and tell my future children about my heroic rescue until the end of my days. You really are scum. Call me whatever you wish, but think about it. Is it better to be called Carrion, or to be rotting in the ground? I mean, I would prefer neither, if at all possible. And it does feel like it's easily avoided. You have chosen what is quite possibly the worst path here, buddy. I'm gonna go. Feel free to sick the giants on me. That'll really just speed things up. Go. And don't attract any unwanted attention. Especially not to me. Likewise, if you know what's good for you. Okay, so guarded exit. With a hill giant blood collar. I mean, if we were playing Vex, that guy'd already be dead. But I think Grim would take a more level-headed approach. Let things play out as they will, and then deal with it afterwards. Though, if the tribe's chief asked us to take him out, then I think we would. Since we respect authority. Pardon? Tokum? This isn't a plan. It's suicide. We have no hope of winning. Just the opposite. We now have hope. Not much, but a bit. Another month of delay, though, and there'll be none left. And here are our guests. Help us settle this matter. Whose plan is better? Do you two always bicker like this? Yes, for as long as I can remember. But that's normal for brothers, the spirit of healthy competition. Tokum would probably be a smarter leader than I am, a good chief in times of peace. Once we kill the giants, let him lead us. But harsh times call for harsh decisions. And he is, alas, incapable of that. I don't want the title of chief. I don't need power. All that I want is to save as many lives as I can. Save, Arden, not heroically sacrifice. Well, at least you're not sharpening your blades on each other. That's a start. Maybe you do have a chance of making it out of this mess. We're happy to help, but we have our own reasons for being here. We seek a creature that wields unnatural powers related to ice. You've found it. The brothers exchange grim looks. The chieftain of the giant tribe wields terrifying ice magic. But how can you deal with him? He's huge and ferocious, and he never walks around without guards. I knew it! Why, oh why did the shard have to end up in the hands of the biggest, meanest, smelliest, and bitiest of them all? When it rains, it pours. I swear by my tissues, toothpicks, and other toiletries that these giants have never even heard of. Okay, that is quite a mouthful, Sentry, but thank you. We have our ways. Tell us more about your plans. Father passed on to us sacred knowledge, the secret of our tribal magic. There's a special ritual that will allow us to invoke the power of our ancestors. Our dispute is over how we should use this power. My plan is this. We will ask the ancestors to lure some cave creatures here. While our captors fight them off, we will slip past them, and finally gain our freedom. Not a bad plan for both you and for us. We'll sneak up on the giant's chieftain while the rest of the louts are distracted. Saves us a lot of trouble. Nonsense. What use do we have for a bunch of animals? The ancestors will laugh at us for such a foolish request. Here's what we'll do. We'll ask the ancestors to lend us strength, and inflict weakness upon the giants. Then we'll cut the wretches into bloody shreds. We'll avenge our kin and walk out of here as warriors, not cowards. In any case, we need to recover the weapons the giants took from us. We cannot do this without your help. We must also get rid of the giant in charge of butchering animal carcasses. The ritual cannot be performed so long as he lives. So when everything is ready, the first thing you must do is kill him, along with his helper. Interesting. I mean, I will say, between the two plans, I naturally lean towards dealing with the giants ourselves, so the more offensive of the two. But we'll keep our options open for now. See what other opportunities might present themselves. How do I get your weapons back? There is a garbage pit next to the giants' camp. Those monsters throw bones there after their terrible feasts. All that remains of our unfortunate brethren. That's also where our weapons ended up on our first day of captivity. There's a cavern leading to the bottom of the pit. It's narrow, but you can squeeze through. We'll distract the overseers, and you'll sneak through and grab our weapons. Okay, sounds like a plan. I'll go get your weapons. Once you're properly armed, we'll discuss what comes next. Excellent. We'll make some noise here to distract them while you run to the garbage pit. Hold on. It doesn't make sense for the whole squad to go. Such a large group will be easily noticed. Yet it is also too dangerous to go alone. Recommendation: take a single companion with you. Oh, you jerks. Never split the party. On second thought, let's hold off for a moment. I'd best explore the rest of my options here first. That's reasonable. We won't have a second chance, so prepare carefully. Of course. May the ancestors protect you. Oop. Fortunately, these guys don't understand common, otherwise we'd be in a lot of trouble right now. And a campsite, fantastic. Well, now I'm really tempted to go back and kill those guards we passed on the way in. A woman approaches you with a confident stride. You had noticed her when the giants dragged away their latest victim. I want you to kill that scoundrel. Oh-ho! Now that's a request. We're not mercenaries. You are skilled fighters, that's plain to see. You will not let yourselves be devoured, so you will have to fight the giants. Well, why not kill their henchman, the translator, while you're at it? It would benefit you as well as others. Wait, let's slow things down. What are you talking about? About that scum who screeches in the giant's language. That scoundrel. He betrayed us. He gives up his people to save his own skin. Blood for blood. He must die. I understand your anger, but who are you to decide this man's fate? Reyna, a hunter from the tribe. Straight to the point. I have no further questions. Oh, this is tough. Again, I feel like Grimm would just wait to see how things play out with a translator, rather than prematurely execute him. Unless it's the chief expressly asking us to deal with it. I don't think Grimm would dispense justice like this. Not vigilante justice. You've asked us to kill a man. I assume you have something to offer in exchange for this grim deed? I don't know yet, but I won't remain in your debt for long. I swear it. I'm really struggling with this one. Would a lawful neutral character be willing to do this? I mean, it feels like it it feels wrong if we do it for vengeance, as opposed to an actual authoritative edict or self-defense. I mean, if he does call the giants on us, then all bets are off, but I'm afraid I must decline your request, for now. The woman snorts. I see. Though I am still mulling on that. It's just, you know, like, he did obviously propose a crime. Ooh, there's our butcher. So that's the one we have to kill first when it hits the fan. But yeah, I mean, he's obviously proposed a crime to sacrifice the tribe for his own safety. But who thus far has only really acted in self-preservation. His main crime right now is just not sacrificing himself for the good of the tribe. But, you know, let me know what you guys think. I think my personal opinion is to let things play out as they will. And if he survives, then let the tribe deal with him. They might still execute him, but that's on them, not on us. Our hands will be clean. That said, this feels like a good place to call it, so we'll hit the pause button for now, and we will pick up here next time. See you then. Oh, and special thanks to the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible, including but not limited to Revenant, Alois, CrowkingLoR, Dragon Matrix 7, Drakiith, V23, EgonAlter, Exsellsior, Gottlieb, James Trimmier, Kazorm, Mark Giemza, Nathan Welch Jr., OverlordPherom, RandomPassrby, RobbyB, Tomasz Piątkowski, Triphoppenskip, and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, if you'd also like to help support the channel, then feel free to push the buttons that do the things. Trust me, it does make a difference. Or you could even check out the PayPal, the Patreon, the Nexus GG, or the YouTube memberships. Links are in the description.
A likely hypothesis. Let's not verify it.